Right, so luckily managed to get the laptop working out here. I didn't think it would, but it does. I've actually preloaded up probably there's five of the top sites that I use where I want to find parts. Right, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of Shop Chat Monday. The first episode went down very well, so I'm going to continue it on in a fortnightly basis, just covering a range of topics, subjects, bike related, tool related, plans coming up for the channel, bikes. Hopefully later on in the year try and get out and actually maybe meet some people, talk about their bikes, have a look at their garages, etc., and what they're working on. But as I say, that's a long way down the road. A couple of bits I want to go through. Obviously I do have people say, you know, what's coming up next, what are you going to be working on, what are your plans for the future, etc. As you know, I always make lists. I'm famous for making a list. Also, after I've gone through the list, I want to discuss the other bit where I do get quite a lot of comments on Facebook. Yeah, a lot of the forums, it's like, where can you find this part, where do I buy these from? So I want to go through a few websites that I use, and they're great websites, great people, and good fast delivery. So I'm going to take you through a few sites. I'm hoping the laptop will work out here. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to do it as a screenshot, so we'll see how that goes. But getting back to the actual videos of what's coming up and what's to do, obviously the Z650, still more to do on this. I'm hoping to get the ABBA Skylift back in the next couple of days. That's still in storage. That will help me with the rear tyre and getting the exhaust on so I can lift it up. I need to have a look underneath anyway, because there seems to be a very small oil leak, but I need to find out where that's from. So regarding the Z650, obviously we've still got the exhaust to fit. Exhaust brackets I'm still looking for. I have managed to find a couple of brackets that I may be able to make work for now, just to hold it in place until I can get the right ones. I've still got the rim locks to fit. We've obviously still got the tank side panels and tailpiece to prep and repaint, because obviously it reacted last time. That's still to come up. Chain and sprocket to fit, centre stand to fit. That will make life a lot easier. Refit all the bodywork, attach all the badges, obviously after it's all painted and decals and lacquered. And then it will just be the final finishing touches, and then hopefully we can go for a start-up. I may actually, after the exhaust, try and get the engine turning over and just see what happens. But that I'll play it by ear, we'll see how that goes. I'm also going to be revisiting the ST1100. A few bits I want to do on that. I need to replace one of the switchgear again. Seems to be the indicator side just keeps failing, the switch. Got a fender extender to fit on the front mudguard, and I also want to make a dash shelf. I have got some plans for it. I want to experience and experiment with metalwork and see if I can actually make a shelf to actually go above the clocks inside the top of the fairing, so I can utilise that for sat nav, and just it's not going to be a huge shelf, but I've seen a few done, so we're going to see how that goes. But say that will be coming up at a later date. The XL1000 Varadero, obviously I did a big lot of engine work on that, got it running, seemed okay. Got a problem with the clutch, so I need to, as soon as that's back, that's still in storage at the moment until I can clear some space, and obviously lockdown eases a lot better. So I need to look at the clutch, maybe take it out, have a look, see if there's a problem with it. I'd also like to do a makeover on it, because I mean, she is an old girl, has done me 95,000 miles. Obviously we've got the Z1000 project, that's going to be a good project. That's going to be like my Saturday project. I will try. At the moment it's just not working out at the moment to get the Z650 in on a Wednesday and the Z1000 on Saturday, because obviously I've been waiting for parts. So that is a complete rebuild into, well, whatever it's going to end up in. As I said at the start of the video, the next bit I want to cover is where do I buy my parts from? So let me grab the laptop. Hopefully the internet works out here. If it doesn't, I'll do it screenshots. Right, so luckily managed to get the laptop working out here. I didn't think it would, but it does. I've actually preloaded up probably there's 5 of the top sites that I use where I want to find parts. First one, wemoto.com. As I say, they are local to me. Very good website, full of bikes, full of parts. Right, so we'll use the Z650 as a example. So you put in your bike, press submit, and it will give you a list of all the Z650s, obviously the new version, the old versions, C1, C2s, KZ650B1, so you click on that, and that's all the categories that they have. For the Z650. So if you were looking for cables, you hit cables, gives you a drop down. So you've got clutch cables, speedo cable, tacho cables. Close it back up, you can go into electrical. Very easy site to use. Whatever you need, you can add to the basket, change the quantity. It'll also give you information where you can actually look and see that the actual item is actually in stock. So starter motor repairs, plugs, regulator, rectifier, all pressure switch points. And again, you literally just go into any section. Forks and suspension. Pattern shocks, YSS shocks, Hagen shocks, fork springs. Again, there's quite a big selection. As I've used the ST as an example. The Z650 as an example. Right, another example obviously, because it's a bike that I go into, ST1100. So again, just type your bike, submit, and it'll actually bring up the search results for ST1100. All the different pan-Europeans, ABS, TCS, non-ABS. So again, if I select a model I've got, which is the AX, again, all these sections. So if you were dealing with fuel section, carburetors, etc., fuel tap repair kits, carburetor pilot screws, main jets, etc., floats. So I do tend to use this site quite a lot. Tyres, forks and suspension. Again, everything is categorised. You just choose the year, choose your bike. So if you go into chassis, you've got swing arms, seat covers, footrests, footrest rubbers. So there's quite a lot in that site. So like I say, wemoto.com, that's one of the main sites I use because they are close to me. Next one I use is Z Power up in Lancashire. They're UK based. name speaks for itself. Many of you have heard of them. Covers Z900 models, the old Z1000s. You've got the KH series and the H series Z650. It does cover a lot. Z400 4 cylinders, the 400 and 440 twins, 750s, GT, GPX and GPZs. So Z650 again gives you a bit of history, frame numbers and model numbers, etc. And then you've got a list of all the parts. Again, you can search alphabetically A to Z, high to low, Z to A, whichever way you choose. But again, another easy site to use. I've used them quite a lot for a lot of parts. I did have somebody ask me about Z400, that parts were hard to find. Again, numerous parts. So for Zs, you've got the choice. You've obviously got Wimoto.com and you've got zpower.co.uk. The other site I use is CMS over in Holland. OEM parts, again, it's basically broken up into your Japanese models. Click on motorcycle. Gives you models on the page. So we go down to KZ. Choosing my model, KZ650. This will actually give you all the fiche pictures, so that's where all the actual pictures in my book, that's where they're coming from. So as you can see, you've got all the fiche breakdown pictures. If we just pick one at random, so we're going to cylinder head. So you've got the picture, you can enlarge it, you can zoom in. I just tend to enlarge the image to a whole page and then I can save it. But obviously it's now listing all the parts, all the OEM part numbers, whether it's available or not available. And again, you can add to cart. So if it's highlighted orange, it's available. If it's sort of blurred out, then it's not available. But again, another good site worth having a look at cmsnl.com. Right, another site I use is David Silver Spares. Good for obviously Honda. He is a Honda part specialist. So again, you can search your part or search your bike. So we'll look for the ST. So you actually put in the actual CC of the bike. Now I can select the model. So it has got everything Honda. So again, there's my bike. And once again, it brings up a list of parts. All the prices are next to it. So you can click on the part, go in and order whichever part you need. But another good site that I use a fair amount. And last one is fowlersparts.co.uk. Again, OE parts. So again, you select your actual make, and then it will give you a drop down list of all the bikes. So again, let's just choose ST. You've got ST1300s in here as well. Again, this is all OE parts, so choose your year, which country it's actually from. So in my case, England. And then you have a breakdown of all the areas. Let's choose crankcase again, so it'll give you an actual picture of the particular section you've gone into, a list, part numbers, whether it's available, and the actual prices are all there. So that's 5 sites that I use a lot. As I say, probably the favourite is Wimoto, because they are literally, they're close to me. I get stuff delivered, lots of parts in stock, and a massive range of models that are covered. Yeah, so you can see here UK's biggest range of motorcycle parts. 4,361,711 patent parts listed for 35,175 1970 to present day models. So that's probably the site I use most. You could say you can go in that way as well. You have got a category search, popular searches, and you can actually browse patent parts. And if you know the part number, you can actually put in an OEM part number that can get OE as well. So I hope that kind of helps people of where I shop for parts, because this information sometimes isn't out there enough, and these sites are so helpful. Right, so I hope that was helpful. It just gives people an insight as to what is coming up on the channel, what ideas I've got, what projects are coming up, how I try and plan, and also where I buy my parts from. As I say, the information, there are a lot of people that go on forums, I see them on Facebook and going, where do I get these parts from? So I hope that helps some people, point them in the right direction of good parts companies to go for. As I say, they're probably the top 5 I use. Obviously David Silver primarily, obviously if I need to for the ST. Wimoto, most of the parts I buy come from Wimoto. Obviously the other site I didn't show, which everybody knows, is it's always worth searching on eBay. I'm on there a lot. I do pick up quite a few bargains every so often on eBay. Some of the stuff that, like the Z650, very hard to find. Again, eBay, it covers the world. I can buy in from America, which I have done before. When I did the Hayabusa project, obviously the train guard and the extensions were from the US, but they were via eBay. So actually, yeah, six sites would be the ones that I use. eBay, again, is I tend more for second hand on eBay, not brand new. So brand new parts would be the 5 I've shown you, and eBay for rare, hard to find second hand parts. There are links to other videos at the end of the video. Join me again in the next episode of Shop Chat, where we're going to start looking at some of the tools I use and just basically going through my tool chest and covering the basic tools that I have, and then we can start looking at some of the specialist tools that I use occasionally. Next episode, back onto Z650, a lot of work to do. We're going to crack on with that. So again, as usual, appreciate all your support and thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.